Authority coupled with justice and love of God is the personality of Saint Louis of France. Dearly beloved in Jesus Christ, welcome to today's Gospel Reflection with Father Anand. Today, 25th August 2026, the Holy Mother Church remembers Saint Louis, King of France. The Gospel is taken from Gospel of Matthew chapter 23, verses 23 to 26. At the time, Jesus said, "Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For you tithe the mint and dill the cumin, and have neglected the weightier matters of the law, justice and mercy and faithfulness. These you ought to have done without neglecting others. You blind guides, straining out a gnat and swallowing a camel. Woe to you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! For you clean the outside of the cup and the plate, but inside they are full of greed and self-indulgence. You blind Pharisees, first clean the inside of the cup and the plate, that the outside also may be clean." The Gospel of the Lord. Dearly beloved in Jesus Christ, today the Holy Mother Church remembers a great saint, Saint Louis, King of France. He was an example of a Christian who lived with riches, who lived with authority, but still he lived a saintly life. Do you remember one of the biblical quotes or Jesus' sayings, how hard it is for a rich man to enter into kingdom of heaven? But here is a man who is very rich, but he entered into kingdom of God because he knew that God is the prime importance for him. King Louis was given authority at the age of 12. King Louis was born in 1214 in France. At the age of 1226, he ascended to the throne after the sudden death of his father. But he was only a minor. His mother became the regent and took care of the kingdom affairs. But the most important role that she played is a Christian mother. She influenced him so much in his faith journey that he could become a saint later. One of the greatest things his mother told him, "I would like to see you dead at my feet than committing a mortal sin." The boy understood, and the boy was trained in such a manner that he would never commit sin and become friend of evil. At the age of 18, he was given into marriage, and the couple lived a religious life and had 11 children, and all of them were brought up with the Christian values. Saint Louis lived his life for Christ, but never forgot his role of a king, never neglected the aspects of justice and taking care of the poor and needy of the kingdom. He established so many colleges, he established hospitals, he himself went directly giving alms to the poor. Not only that, he had undertaken crusades for the growth and spread of Christian faith. In 1948, he undertook the 7th Christian crusade towards Egypt, where he wanted to expand faith. Initially, the army was very strong and they could move forward, but later, unfortunately, army became weak and Louis himself was captured. But after 2 years, in 1950, with a lot of ransom given, he was released. Even after that, his zeal for faith and the expansion of the kingdom of God and Christian values never died. Again, he took up another crusade in 1970, but due to his illness of the plague, he expired. This man, in spite of enjoying the royal luxuries because of his richness and wealth, he coupled his responsibility with justice and Christian values. That's why we remember him today as a great saint. To his credit, he had collected so many relics, and one of the most important relics was the crown of thorns. He collected it and he kept in a chapel in his own royal court. And the chapel became a symbol of so many Christian relics which were handed down to the centuries to propagate faith. So, dear brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, from today's liturgy or today's saint's life, we understand one important thing. Even if you are rich, even if you have wealth, even if you have power, if you keep Christ and his message to the prime point, we can be still friends of God and we can become saints. So today, let's fly to the intercession of Saint Louis so that we understand how we can balance the world and the spirit. May God bless us all and Saint Louis intercede for all of us.